I had always believed my marriage to Laura was solid. We had been together for over a decade, shared a home, and raised 2 children together. From the outside, everything seemed perfect. Friends and family often admired our bond and stability. But over the past few months, subtle signs began to unsettle me. Late nights, secretive phone calls, and her growing emotional distance. At first, I brushed it off as stress or routine, but a persistent doubt lingered. In the back of my mind, the doubt became unbearable. One evening, when a close friend noticed inconsistencies in our family photos and casually mentioned the possibility of paternity questions. At first, I rejected the thought entirely. How could I even consider it? But the seed of suspicion had been planted, and I couldn't ignore it any longer. I needed answers no matter how painful they might be. After a sleepless night, I made the decision to do a DNA test on my children. I couldn't face the uncertainty anymore. I needed the truth. I arranged everything discreetly so Laura wouldn't suspect a thing. When the results came back, my world shattered. Neither of the children were biologically mine. The shock, disbelief, and rage that coursed through me were overwhelming. The woman I had trusted with my heart, my home, and my family had been cheating, and her betrayal had lasted years. I sat in stunned silence, replaying every memory, every intimate moment, every smile, and every argument. How could she have done this right under my nose? I felt devastated, humiliated, and deeply betrayed. But amidst the turmoil, a cold clarity emerged. I knew I had to act, and not just out of anger, but strategically. I needed to ensure accountability, protect my own life, and reclaim control. The first thing I did was gather evidence. I combed through messages, emails, and financial records, finding the undeniable proof of Laura's affair. Every detail mattered: the dates, the hidden meetings, and the audacity of her deception. I documented everything meticulously. This wasn't just about revenge. It was about establishing a clear record of betrayal and dishonesty. Once I had the evidence, I confronted Laura. The look on her face when I presented the DNA results and the proof of her affair was priceless. Shock, panic, and fear all rolled into one. She tried to justify herself, to explain, to plead, but the truth was undeniable. The years of betrayal, manipulation, and deceit were laid bare. I filed for divorce immediately. Custody arrangements for our children, though they weren't biologically mine, were carefully considered to ensure stability and emotional security. Financial settlements were calculated to reflect both legal obligations and the emotional consequences of her actions. Laura had gambled with trust, loyalty, and family, and she lost completely. But legal action alone wasn't enough. I needed to reclaim my life entirely. I moved out with my children, stopped answering Laura's calls, texts, and emails, and ensured she had no influence over my life. The absence itself became punishment. She had no opportunity to manipulate, plead, or negotiate her way back. By disappearing from her life, I reclaimed dignity, control, and peace of mind. In the weeks that followed, I focused entirely on rebuilding stability for myself and my children. Routine, emotional support, and a trusted network of friends became my pillars. Laura, meanwhile, faced the consequences of her audacity. Her credibility, reputation, and influence over my life were destroyed. The exposure of her affair and the revelation about the children ensured she could not escape accountability. Reflecting on the ordeal, I realized that true revenge isn't about shouting, public humiliation, or dramatic confrontations. It's about strategy, timing, and reclaiming control. By conducting the DNA test, documenting the affair, confronting Laura, filing for divorce, and disappearing from her life, I ensured that the consequences were swift, undeniable, and permanent. She had assumed she could cheat, betray, and continue life as if nothing had happened. She was wrong. Over time, I noticed the complete shift in power. Laura tried to reach out, apologize, and manipulate situations to regain control, but I ignored every attempt. Each effort she made to assert influence over my life failed. Meanwhile, I rebuilt my life on my own terms, focusing on my children, my peace, and the future I deserved. The humiliation and fallout she faced became a natural extension of her choices, a reminder that betrayal carries consequences. Ultimately, this story is one of betrayal, accountability, and empowerment. A cheating wife believed she could act without consequence, deceive her family, and continue life as if nothing had happened. But strategy, evidence, legal action, and decisive withdrawal ensured justice. Laura gambled with trust and she lost. The lesson was clear: betrayal has consequences, and some actions cannot be forgiven, forgotten, or ignored. This experience also taught me a crucial truth. Sometimes, the most effective revenge isn't about confrontation or anger, it's about reclaiming your life, protecting those who matter most, and ensuring deceit cannot continue unchecked. By acting decisively, patiently, and strategically, I turned a devastating betrayal into a moment of empowerment and control, proving that reclaiming dignity and authority is the ultimate justice. In the end, my actions were not just about punishing Laura, they were about reclaiming my life and ensuring my children were safe, respected, and free from the chaos of her choices. The DNA test didn't just reveal betrayal, it revealed the path to my freedom, my power, and my ability to rebuild a life on my own terms.